Greetings everyone, welcome to Changemakers 20 Summit 2023 is day 6 and we have in this session we have with us Vatsal, Mandaliya and Akshay and the topic accessibility in music production of software under the theme social justice and inclusion. I welcome you both. Before starting with the session, I would like to introduce like in accessibility in music production software. They will be talking about where they will be ensuring accessibility in music production software for individuals with disabilities is paramount for fostering inclusivity and creative impression. By implementing features like customizable interfaces, keyboard shortcuts, screen reader compatibility, and tactile feedback, software developers can empower users with diverse abilities to navigate and engage with the software effectively. So now we have Akshay and Vatsal who will be joining us in the session from Mission Accessible DOS Group in this unique session where they will be deep into the particular issue. Before starting with this particular session, I would like to introduce our speakers, Akshay and Vatsal. So if I first go with Akshay, so Akshay is currently studying in class 12, having art stream, and he is 19 years old, living and from Latur, Maharashtra, and he is an octopad and drum player, keyboardist, music producer. Talking about Vatsal, Vatsal is 23 years old from Surendranagar, Gujarat. He is a singer, composer, arranger, and lyricist. He is a graduate in English literature. I welcome you both. Now, stage is all yours. Over to you, Vatsal.
So, hello guys, my name is Vatsal Mandaliya. I'm from Surendranagar, Gujarat. I'm 23 years old, and me and Akshay, we are going to discuss and we are going to present to all of you about why and how is it necessary to make the music production softwares like FL Studio, Cubase, Ableton, which are not accessible actually, but why is it necessary to make these softwares accessible for the blind people? And we are even going to discuss that how we are able to use the computers, how we are able to use the softwares, and how they are not accessible by the screen readers. So over to Akshay. So अक्षय अब आप ये बताएंगे कि कंप्यूटर्स कैसे हमारे लिए एक्सेसिबल हुए और कैसे
हाँ ओके
चीजें
मेरा ऑडियो आ रहा है
जी 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 बिल्कुल
हाय एवरीवन मैं अक्षय विजापुरे तो आज हम म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन के जो सॉफ्टवेयर है वो एक्सेसिबल जो है वो विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड लोगों के लिए नहीं है और वो सॉफ्टवेयर एक्सेसिबल होने के लिए हम क्या क्या कर सकते हैं उसके बारे में मैं और मेरा फ्रेंड वत्सल हम दोनों बताएंगे तो सबसे पहले तो शुरुआती का जब दौर था तब लाइक 2000 के वो टाइम कंप्यूटर मार्केट में आना शुरू हो गए थे तो उस टाइम विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड जो लोग हैं वो कंप्यूटर नहीं यूज करते थे मतलब यूज ही नहीं कर सकते थे लाइक असिस्टिव डिवाइसेस या स्क्रीन रीडर का वो सपोर्ट उस टाइम के जो कंप्यूटर थे उसमें नहीं था तो विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड लोग जो थे वो नॉर्मल जो साइटेड असिस्टेंट होते हैं उनके हेल्प से कंप्यूटर वो मतलब कंप्यूटर पर वो काम करते थे बट जब 2000 के दौर में एक मार्केट में एक स्क्रीन रीडर आया जिसका नाम था जॉर्ज स्क्रीन रीडर ये एक ऐसा स्क्रीन रीडर था जो कंप्यूटर के स्क्रीन पर लिखे हुए टेक्स्ट को वो रीड करके बताता था, बट वो जो स्क्रीन रीडर था वो बहुत कॉस्टली था। तो वो कंप्यूटर तो वो स्क्रीन रीडर कॉस्टली होने के कारण उसका ज्यादा मतलब धीरे धीरे उसके यूजर बढ़ रहे थे। उसी टाइम पर और एक स्क्रीन रीडर आया जिसका नाम था एनवीडीए। ये जो स्क्रीन रीडर था ये फ्री था और ये एनवीएक्स नाम के एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उनके द्वारा ये स्क्रीन रीडर डेवलप किया था। वो स्क्रीन रीडर उन्होंने इसलिए डेवलप किया था कि सभी लोग कम कीमत में कंप्यूटर यूज कर सके। उन्होंने इसलिए एक फ्री सोर्स एक स्क्रीन रीडर बनाया। तो धीरे धीरे फिर एक सॉफ्टवेयर विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड कम्युनिटी के लिए एक्सेसिबल होते गए। बट फिर ब्लाइंड कम्युनिटी मतलब म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन में भी इन्वॉल्व होना चाहती थी।
So I'll try to translate this in English. So, friends, what happened that I'll explain to you how we were able to use computers, how the screen readers came and helped us to use the computers. So, in the time of 2000, the computers started coming up to the people who wanted to use it for the personal purposes, and unfortunately the computers were not blind user friendly, means the blind people were not able to use those. So what happened that in that era, a technology called screen reader came into existence, and the first screen reader means which helps us to read the screen, to navigate the screen. So the screen reader, the first screen reader and the proprietary one, was JAWS, which is also formally known as Job Access with Speech. It's JAWS, JAWS. So it was the first proprietary kind of screen reader, and it was so expensive that the blind people were not able to, everyone was not able to buy it. Only some people who can afford it, they can buy it. So even though this was the screen reader, but it was a challenge because it was expensive. And after that time, a non-profit organization, which is also known as NV Access, formerly known as Non-Vision Access, developed a free solution which is also flexible, which is smaller in size, and it is NVDA, Non-Visual Desktop Access, and it helped us to use the computer without any hesitation because it was free, it was open source, and this organization is non-profit. So they've made this software so customizable that we can develop add-ons for this software and we can make it as we want to. So this is how we were able to use the computers, and then smartphones came and they became accessible, and then built-in technology like native screen readers were there for smartphones, like talkback for Android and voiceover for iOS. So Windows and Mac OS laptops and computers were there, and in Mac OS, in the MacBooks, voiceover, which is a built-in screen reader, it came with a native accessibility support. So this is how we are able to use the computers. I'll demonstrate a bit about how I am using my OS.
Change group camera end of group camera.
I'm in the interface of this website in which I've joined the session. So the options of camera
End of
and
share reactions share material
share material,
share screen
share screen.
// 76 for social justice and inclusion. Social justice and end of.
So friends, see, this is how I'm able to navigate the whole interface of the website, because the screen reader is trying to read the text which is written in the website, and it's trying to read it as it is. So now over to Akshay. अब आप ये बताएंगे अक्षय कि अब जो हमारे विजुअली चैलेंज्ड पीपल हैं वो म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन के अंदर या फिर डिफरेंट सेक्टर्स जैसे कि सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट और इन सब में कैसे अपना योगदान दे रहे हैं।
हाँ, तो सॉफ्टवेयर तो हमारे लिए स्क्रीन रीडर तो आ गया मार्केट में, तो धीरे धीरे एक एक सॉफ्टवेयर एक्सेसिबल हो गए। उसके बाद ब्लाइंड लोग जो है वो अलग अलग सेक्टर्स में वो काम करने लगे. सो लाइक सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट हो, वेब सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट में जितेंद्र बोराडे सर मुंबई वो जो है वो एक ब्लाइंड सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर है. और म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन में मराठी म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन में सिद्धार्थ सर है जो बहुत मतलब उन्होंने भी म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन जो वो स्टार्ट से सीखते थे तो उनको बहुत एक्सेसिबिलिटी के वो इश्यूज है, तो वो उनको बहुत इशू फेस करने पड़ते थे पहले टाइम. वो अभी लॉजिक प्रो यूज करते तो उनको भी बहुत एक्सेसिबिलिटी के इशू फेस करने पड़ते थे. तो उसके बाद धीरे धीरे म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन के सॉफ्टवेयर्स भी फीडबैक वो देने पर एक दो सॉफ्टवेयर्स विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड लोगों के लिए एक्सेसिबल है. तो वो ब्लाइंड एंड लोग वो यूज करने लगे. बट वो सॉफ्टवेयर जो थे वो मेन टाइम सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं थे. लाइक पॉपुलर डिजिटल ऑडियो वर्क स्टेशन वो सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं थे जो कि इंडस्ट्री में यूज लोग करते थे, वो सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं थे. तो फिर ब्लाइंड मतलब लाइक एप्पल ने वो लॉजिक प्रो और उनका खुद का गराज बैंड नाम का एक डिजिटल ऑडियो वर्क स्टेशन है वो एक्सेसिबल किया. तो फिर बहुत सारे ब्लाइंड लोगों को मतलब थोड़े बहुत ब्लाइंड लोग इंडस्ट्री में काम कर रहे हैं. तो ऐसा है.
So what Akshay is trying to tell friends is like after everything is solved and now is the time that people are they are contributing to the society in many ways. The visually challenged people, if I especially talk about the visually challenged people, they are contributing in many ways to the society. For example, Mr. Karthik Sohne, he is a software engineer in the Microsoft Corporation company, and he has developed an app. He has developed an app called Seeing AI. Seeing AI is an app which helps the blind people to recognize text, recognize the lights, like where is the light on, where is the light off, where is darkness, and so on, so on. And it also helps to read the currencies. So people are friends, people are giving their contribution to the society in many ways. Like people are software engineers, people are music producers. And if I talk about Mr. Animesh Ahilya, he is the first visually challenged data scientist in India. And another person who is our friend as well, he is Siddharth Dugde sir, who works in the Marathi film industry, and he is a well-known music producer and composer. He was facing so many accessibility issues in the 2000s and 2010 to 20, and now he's using Logic Pro, and he's able to use it in a very well way, because Logic Pro is so much accessible to the blind people. But friends, why we are demanding accessibility in all the music production softwares? Because sometimes what happens, like a client comes to us and he asks, oh, what kind of software are you using to work in the studio to produce music? So if we tell like, oh, we're using Reaper, he tells that, oh, why don't you use FL Studio because it's trending? We're telling that, oh, it's not accessible, and the project is not in our hand, the client goes off. So friends, this is the big issue. And even
हाँ, तो हम आगे जो है वो म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन के सॉफ्टवेयर जो है वो एक्सेसिबल करने के लिए क्या करना चाहते हैं। तो सबसे पहले तो अ, इस मीटिंग में यहाँ पर कोई एनवीडिया एड ऑन डेवलपर्स हो जो कि एड ऑन डेवलप कर सकता है। ओसीआर जो होता है जो कि सब कुछ रीड कर सके ओसीआर के थ्रू एड ऑन, वो एड ऑन कोई डेवलप करके मतलब ऐसा कोई वॉलंटियर्स हो तो मतलब पूरे ब्लाइंड कम्युनिटी के लिए बहुत हेल्प होगी। तो वो हम एड ऑन एक बना सकते हैं। और सेकेंड नंबर पर हम जो डिजिटल ऑडियो वर्क स्टेशन डेवलपर्स, वीएसटी प्लगइन डेवलपर्स या जो भी रिकॉर्डिंग सॉफ्टवेयर है म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन के, वो तो उनके डेवलपर्स को हम ईमेल के थ्रू और लाइक अदर सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म के थ्रू वो हम ट्विटर के थ्रू ट्वीट कर सकते हैं या उनको वो बता सकते हैं कि इश्यूज क्या आ रहे हैं। तो ये हम कर सकते हैं। और थर्ड, हमने एक पिटीशन बनाया है जो पिटीशन है कि जिसमें एक्सेसिबिलिटी जो म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन के सॉफ्टवेयर है वो क्यों एक्सेसिबल होने चाहिए और वो होने चाहिए। तो हमने उसमें गवर्नमेंट के जो रूल्स हैं, यूएस गवर्नमेंट के, अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट के, वो रूल वो उसमें इंक्लूड किए हैं कि सॉफ्टवेयर इस रूल के थ्रू वो सॉफ्टवेयर एक्सेसिबल होने चाहिए। तो वो रूल्स वो मेंशन किए। तो इस मतलब इस ये जो मीटिंग जो भी सुन रहे हैं, आप सभी लोगों को हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट है कि जो वो पिटीशन है उसमें ज्यादा साइंस मिलेंगे तो डेवलपर को भी लगेगा कि हाँ एक्सेसिबिलिटी के इशू विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड कम्युनिटी को है। तो जो भी वो पिटीशन पर साइन कर सकता है तो करेंगे तो ब्लाइंड कम्युनिटी का म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन और भी मतलब बेटर होगा।
All right, so friends, I'm trying to explain what Akshay is trying to say. Friends, he's trying to tell that we have to uh, we have to make, and I'll also try to explain why is it necessary to make the softwares accessible for the blind people. I'll try to explain it in detail. Friends, I think the survival of the people who are disabled or who are visually challenged depends on the accessibility and inclusivity in the mainstream society, because whenever we want to stretch our limits, then something is necessary to be able to help us for doing that. Because if there is no possibility, if there is no space, if there is no inclusivity in the society, like if a for example, if I want to say, like a person wants to walk, and if he is not uh, he has not learned like how to walk, or the roads are not like that which can help this person to walk, then how he can walk? It becomes either difficult or impossible for him to just survive in this world, because these basic things are necessary, friends. And if I'm talking about the music production softwares, because we are working in the mainstream society, so there is so much of competition in this field, and we all know about this. Like if a client, and I'm not talking about the big names, about the big celebrities, like the people who are already working in the industry, because they are recognized by the society and they are just trusted by so many people. So if the softwares are not accessible, like if a client comes and tells that, oh, this is trending, why are you not using it? So it becomes difficult for us to be able to stand out in this business. Thus, it's so much of necessary to make the softwares blind accessible, friends. And now I'm going to talk about how can we achieve this. So, friends, the first thing is first, I'm going to request if it's a humble request from my side, because if in this summit, if there is a software developer or an NVDA add-on developer who can volunteer us to develop an add-on for NVDA, which has OCR capabilities, which is more than enough to make the digital audio workstations like FL Studio, Cubase, Pro Tools, Ableton Live, Presonus Studio One, etc., blind user friendly. Because, friends, OCR is the thing which can help us to achieve the software accessibility, and also some functionalities like if some elements are just, if there is a possibility to use a drag and drop kind of features, so there should be a functionality in this add-on which helps us to drag and drop something just by using NVDA, non-visual desktop access. Because, friends, NVDA is a very flexible screen reader solution which we can develop add-ons for it, and we can make it more flexible. So the second possible way is, friends, to, like, we have wrote a petition which explains why is it necessary to make the software accessible, and as many people will sign the petition, it will have more impact. Like if 3,000, 10,000 people will sign the petition, I can just attach and send it to the software developer companies. I can mail it to them, and I can tell them, like, why is this petition, I mean, how does this petition tell them to design software which can be useful for the blind people. So in this petition, there are some rules and regulations which are regulated by the United States government, and which explains why is it necessary to have the rights to the visually challenged people. So these are the possible ways, friends, through which we can make these digital audio workstations accessible. And now I'm going to the conclusion. Like, friends, it's so necessary to make the software is accessible, because, as I told, if we want to survive in the mainstream industry, it needs to be accessible and inclusive for all of us. For example, I'll try to explain what is accessibility and what is inclusivity. Accessibility means something which can be accessed, which can be used by everyone, whether the people are visually challenged, whether the people are disabled, or whether the people are just sighted and just normal people. So this is accessibility. And what is inclusivity? Friends, inclusivity means to make something accessible or to promote accessibility in the society, like we are doing is the mission of inclusivity, because we are promoting accessibility. So this thing is so necessary, friends. Over to Akshay. Akshay, अब आप conclude करेंगे इस सेशन को. तो अक्षय, अब आप ये सेशन को कंक्लूड करेंगे और ये बताएंगे कि हाँ, हमारे लिए ये जो सॉफ्टवेयर हैं ये डेवलप करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, एक्सेसिबल करना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
सबसे पहले तो सॉफ्टवेयर एक्सेसिबल हो गए, तो सबसे मतलब जो म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन के सॉफ्टवेयर हैं वो एक्सेसिबल हो गए. तो सबसे पहले तो जो विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड जो भी म्यूजिशियन है वो मतलब म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन की फील्ड में ना और भी मतलब उनकी जो ब्लाइंड मतलब विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड लोगों की जो क्रिएटिविटी है वो म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन फील्ड में वो दिखा सकते हैं. और जो ब्लाइंड कम्युनिटी है उनको मतलब एक करियर या लाइक एक इंडस्ट्री में काम करने का वो मौका वो मिल सकता है. इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड जो डिजिटल और वर्क स्टेशन एक्सेसिबल होंगे तो ब्लाइंड लोगों को इंडस्ट्री में काम करने का मौका मिल सकता है. और उसके साथ ही मतलब ब्लाइंड लोग अर्न भी कर सकते हैं उसके हेल्प से। वो सॉफ्टवेयर एक्सेसिबल हो गए तो ब्लाइंड लोगों जो भी प्रोड्यूस करेंगे तो अर्निंग भी होगी। अभी कैसा है, जो सॉफ्टवेयर है म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन के, वो एक्सेसिबल नहीं होने के कारण ब्लाइंड लोगों को प्रोडक्शन के वो प्रोजेक्ट वो नहीं मिल रहे। और कैसा है, वो मिलते हैं तो बोलते हैं कि मतलब वो लोग देते हैं प्रोजेक्ट हमें, तो वो लोग बोलते हैं कि आप कौन से सॉफ्टवेयर पर काम करते हैं। तो हम जब बताते हैं कि लाइक ये सॉफ्टवेयर पर मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, तो वो बोलते हैं ये तो इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड नहीं है, ये कोई यूज ही नहीं करता है। मतलब हम जो सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करते हैं वो मतलब उसमें फीचर है बट उसका वर्क फ्लो अच्छा नहीं है और वो इंडस्ट्री में यूज नहीं होते, ऐसा है। और मैं मतलब उससे प्रोजेक्ट वो ब्लाइंड लोगों को कोई नहीं देता है सॉन्ग बनाने के। वो मेरे जो खुद के मुझे मेरे 10 से 12 प्रोजेक्ट मैं इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड डिजिटल ऑडियो वर्क स्टेशन नहीं यूज करता हूँ, इसलिए मेरे 10 से 12 प्रोजेक्ट अभी तक मेरे हाथ से गए। और ये मेरे अकेले की ये इशू नहीं है, ये पूरे ब्लाइंड कम्युनिटी का इशू है कि साइटेड जो लोग होते हैं वो ब्लाइंड लोगों को प्रोजेक्ट ही नहीं देते। क्यों? क्योंकि आप इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड सॉफ्टवेयर यूज नहीं करते। तो ऐसे इश्यूज है और यही मतलब कंक्लूजन है कि एक्सेसिबल होने से ब्लाइंड कम्युनिटी को प्रोडक्शन फील्ड में कुछ करने का, कुछ क्रिएटिव ब्लाइंड लोगों के जो कुछ क्रिएटिव आइडिया है वो भी वो आ सकते हैं बाहर और इंडस्ट्री में काम कर सकते हैं। और मेन ब्लाइंड लोग अर्न भी कर सकते हैं प्रोडक्शन से, जो कि वो पहले से ही कोई सिंगर है ब्लाइंड लोगों का कैसा है, हर 10 में से 8 ब्लाइंड ये सिंगिंग या कोई इंस्ट्रूमेंट प्ले करते हैं। और बड़े बड़े म्यूजिशियन हो के गए लाइक रविंद्र जैन, वो भी मतलब म्यूजिक प्रोडक्शन मतलब म्यूजिक करते थे। तो इससे यही होगा कि ब्लाइंड कम्युनिटी मतलब और भी ग्रो हो सकती है म्यूजिक के फील्ड में।
So, all right, friends, thank you so much. This was our session. Thanks for joining the session. And if there are any questions, you can definitely ask to us. Thank you so much.
Do you see that there should be some change in policy so that these so the softwares which is used in music industry should be accessible to everybody? So do you think there is a requirement of some policy change or some interference from the government?
Yes, sir, there is a requirement of the interference from the government because the US government already has regulated some laws and rules regarding accessibility of the music production softwares. I think a rule is also regulated by a community which is known as WC, which develops a framework of W3 CSS. So this community has also regulated a rule like the websites should be accessible for the blind people. But sir, this rule is just regulated. This is not implemented by the companies. So I think the interference of government is now becoming more necessary, and the government should strongly address to the companies like you have to make these softwares accessible.
Okay, wonderful. So you also need like there is a need of some structures so that government can make a evaluation on that, like is the thing
Sir,
implemented on ground
there is
or
a
something?
terminology. There is a terminology called beta testers. So what the issues of the companies are having, like they will have to hire the beta testers for accessibility thing, and these people will charge a heavy amount. So I think the government of these countries like US, UK, the government of these countries should donate to the companies for hiring these beta testers.
Cool, cool. Thanks, Vatsal and Akshay for joining us in this session. So I would like to request, do a vote of thanks for all dear speaker and attendees and participants. As a curtain fall on the Changemakers 20 Summit discussion on accessibility in music production software, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to each of you for your presence helped shape an enlightening and inspiring dialogue that emphasizes the significance of accessibility in the realm of music production. The insights shared by our esteemed speakers, Vatsal and Akshay, shed light on the challenges faced by individuals with varying abilities and the innovative solution creations of a more inclusive and empowering. Thank you so much for joining. We witness how technology can be harnessed to break down barriers and provide a platform for creating expression to all, regardless of their background. A discussion were a testament to the power of a collaboration as experts, creators, and advocates came together to envision a more accessible future for the music industry. Dear Akshay and Vatsal, your thought-provoking questions, shared experience, and enthusiastic participation demonstrated your commitment to driving positive change in the realm of music production. This summit wouldn't have been as impactful without your collective dedication. Let's carry forward the momentum generated during these discussions and transform ideas into actionable steps. By incorporating accessibility principles into music production software, we can empower a diverse range of artists to share their voices and stories with the world. Once again, thank you so much for being an integral part of this journey. Thank together, we all are shaping a more inclusive and harmonious musical landscape.
Thank you, Akshay. Thank you, sir.